Hello. Different background. How fun. I love this. I love that this necklace, I love that this dress always does this. The hole is right where like a lot of my necklaces just sit and it looks so cool. Anyway, not the point, but a point. I was journaling this morning and baby's been hitting a lot of good notes. Can't lie. I've been cracking some shit open, which has been really nice. Because I think like with any kind of process like that, or at least the process that I go through when I am like figuring stuff out, it always brings a lot more compassion and kindness for myself into my life, which I don't think I could ever get enough of. It's my favorite wind chime. It's the only one I have, but it's my favorite. And I was just journaling about, oh no, I've forgotten, but I don't want to get up and get my journal. I feel like I might have to, which is so upsetting. I wish this door was open, but it's latched closed. Maybe I can remember. I was mainly just journaling about, it was definitely something about self-acceptance. Because when is it not? When is that not the thing that I'm kind of working on? All right, I'm gonna go and get it. Have fun looking at my lounge room. Oh yeah! Makes a lot of sense. Okay, stepping outside of your comfort zone. That's what I want to talk about. So I've been doing it a little bit recently. Yes, there's a blue sky. Sorry. I've been doing it a little bit recently. Hi. And I'm also working on like allowing my feelings to give me feedback, or like listening to the feedback that my feelings give me. Because I think a lot of the time, I listen to my emotions when I feel things, and they're like the forefront of my focus in life. Like if I'm going through something, I know how I feel about it. So like if it's an event, but if I'm ever like doing things or going through life, or hi, does this dress smell nice? I kind of just unconsciously listen to my feelings, but not in a very like perceptive way, I want to say. Because, you know, I've been stepping outside of my comfort zone and been choosing to do things or trying to do things that are atypical for me to do. And that's, of course, a very uncomfortable experience. And a part of me feels that discomfort and is like, oh no, this is bad. And then it'll really hinder my willingness to do the thing. And I guess I just haven't ever gone into assessing that whole process, if that makes any sense. And I did this morning, which was like, I don't know, it feels so obvious, but when it's just something that your brain just unconsciously kind of sits on and allows itself to just like agree with, I don't know, just never thought to address it, which is like, of course, things that feel different and that are going to be different are going to feel uncomfortable. And there's this rule that exists in my life and in my head that like things will always, if something's supposed to happen, if things are supposed to happen, it'll feel right. And I think a lot of us like live by that. Not live by, but do you know what I mean? Like, you know, you'll only do something when the timing's right, or you'll only do something or say something or make a decision or make a change when it feels right. Because sometimes it does. And sometimes things do feel right, and that's when you know. And that is a thing to trust sometimes. Like it's a good navigation tool to do things when you feel the push, or when you feel the excitement, or when you feel the flow of it, or, you know, like it is useful to live by those positive like flags of yes, do this thing. But then, and then also it is really good to like listen to those negative flags of, oh no, like this thing isn't so safe. But then it's as if those two rules have just been in my head and I'm like, yeah. And then when I'm doing something that I guess I'm just living life, and I'm not consciously going, this isn't something that I do very often. It's going to be a challenging experience. I'm not being very aware of my actions. I'm just doing my actions, or I'm making choices, or I'm being like, oh no, I'm doing this thing and I don't always do it. And it makes me feel uncomfortable, so maybe I shouldn't. I don't take that extra step to go, well, yeah, it's going to be uncomfortable. But that's how it's supposed to be. So the discomfort in this situation is okay. And it's like overriding that intuitive rule of discomfort means unsafe. Don't do it. And I think that link has just been missing in my brain. And I've just made it. Even though it's one of the most obvious things. Like, you know what I mean? Even though, I feel like every single time I make one of these, like these, that's always what it is. It's like things that you can know in life and that people always tell you, and like, change isn't easy, or like, expanding your horizons is gonna feel uncomfortable. And it's like, yeah. Blah, blah, blah. You can say it and you can know it, but it's different when the time actually comes to do it and you're not consciously recognizing, oh, this is a situation where I apply that rule. And now it's all come together and I'm like, holy shit. Yeah, all right. Right now I can override that little blanket rule umbrella of discomfort means bad, means don't do. In this case, discomfort means obviously, and it means you're just gonna have to get through it. You just have to kind of like not get over it, but you're just gonna have to trust that, like, this is where I guess the heart stuff comes in, is because my heart, I think, is one of the more wounded centers in me. And so it's, gone through a lot. And so it really, 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 really wants to listen to that, hey, not safe. It has some big not safe flag triggers on it. But I also want to like ease those. I want to get through those. And the only way you can really get through those is building trust and showing yourself that not all discomfort leads to pain. Some discomfort leads to greatness, or some discomfort just leads to an all right time, or like some discomfort might just lead to like neutral disappointment, but it won't always be discomfort leads to this all harrowing sense of everything's about to fuck up. Your life's about to just be absolutely flipped upside down, and you walked yourself into this. Because I guess that's the other thing that's coming in, is that like I'm making conscious choices. I'm making choices to like do things, which places me in a point of responsibility, which sounds silly because you're always responsible for yourself. But a little loophole that my brain likes to come up with is that if things come to you, and I guess this is like the victim kind of like thing that I was talking about before, or rather if like if you work with receiving and you work with like just, not really instigating, but receiving the opportunities that come your way, it's your responsibility to receive them and to accept them and to take them in. But for some reason in my head, that's better than like seeking it out. Like I could deal with, in my brain, I could deal with the pain of choosing to accept something into my life as it's coming towards me, and then to be like, if it hurts or if it ends up going badly, I can be like, all right, that's fine. But it was like a mutual decision to like, where there was this like opportunity come into my life. I was like, okay, so that workplace reached out to me, that thing came into my life, whatever it is. It was a dual effort to kind of be like, yes, this is a thing that's happening. But in my head, if I'm the one to like instigate things or go after things, I'm like, oh, you're really just putting yourself fully, solely out there alone on your own, no support, nothing. You're doing this by yourself. It is only you. It is only your choice. That means everything that comes afterwards is your fault. And notice that I say fault, because there's this insinuation in my head that things are just going to go badly. Point blank. We're doing a little bit of running. We're doing a little bit of parkour, aren't we? Is that? No, it's pretty fun, hey? She's been, because I've changed around this room recently, and she's been like, she's been loving it, which is really sweet. Gosh, she's just the cutest. Aren't ya? You're just the cutest little thing. You're just adorable. I love you so much. Wow. It amazes me how much I love her. And it also amazes me that I just live in a house with a rabbit. Like, it's just us. It's just us that live here. Just me and her. Her and me. Bye. Anyway, what was I talking about? Existing in my head, things bad. Negative bias. Negative cognitive bias. Yeah. That just exists in my head of just like, if you do things, it will end badly. Like if I choose something, if I go after something, it'll end badly. So then just do the whole thing of waiting for things to come to you and then making a decision then, whether to accept it or whether to just like let it pass. Because then I guess in some way in my psyche, that just means that I've had more control over the matter. None of this makes any sense, obviously, because these are things that have been made up in my head to cushion my trauma. So none of it is sensical, none of it is logical, but you don't know that, or like I don't know that, and your brain doesn't know that because safety isn't sensical. Safety is just safety, and the brain goes after safety. Doesn't always go after sense, especially if it's cushioning something like trauma. So that's like why all of these little loopholes and all of these little like boxes and compartmentalizations can exist in my brain, and in like probably maybe your brain too, about like, you know, knowing things and not really fully able to like take that knowledge and apply it into life circumstances, if life circumstances that knowledge should be applied to have been previously tainted or colored by any kind of traumatic memory experience, whatever the body tells you it is. But yeah, I'm like figuring it all out. No, I'm not figuring it all out. I'm figuring some of it out. And it's now a part of me that I'm coming to address, which is nice, because if I address this part of me, it means that's another part of me that's free from the holds of trauma and fear, which is the ultimate goal, to not be bound by that kind of stuff. What are you doing? I don't know what she's doing. She's doing something, but I don't know. I'm very happy that like I don't have a lot of cords in this house, so she really can just like run around and do whatever the fuck she wants. I'm kind of proud about the house that I have for a bunny that just doesn't really get in the way of her living her life, and she can just be a crazy little angel. Okay. Yeah. I guess what I'm learning is that I'm trusting this feeling of because I'm giving myself the understanding that, or I'm giving myself the trust that I'm choosing to follow my heart, and I'm choosing to allow my heart to trust a situation and to trust choices that I feel like I'm ready to make, because I have to be ready at some point. And I think that point is never going to feel right. That point is just going to be marked by things happening around me and opportunities that I all of a sudden want to go for. Because I think if I wasn't ready, I wouldn't want to do the things that make me feel uncomfortable. So I want to do them, so I'm ready in some capacity. And they feel uncomfortable, but that's okay. And that doesn't mean that the things that I want to do are going to hurt me. Even though my brain is like, they will. Be safe. Don't do anything. Stay in your house. No, I can't do that forever. And I don't want to do that forever. And I hope that if this is something you're struggling with too, that maybe you'll be able to see it this way soon. Because I guess it's such a complicated thing, trying to figure out like how to feel safe again, and how to know when the right time to do things is, and how to know when you're ready, and how to know when you won't be hurt. And again, this is something that a lot of people say, it's just like you can't ever protect yourself from not being hurt, even though you're like, that's like a primary thing that I think your brain always wants to do, is just keep you safe. And especially if you're anyone that's gone through anything traumatic. And I say that word of just like, you can go through anything. Everyone's affected by different levels of things, so don't try and like categorize it as anything. If you had anything in your life that's happened to you that's left a particularly huge impact, maybe it's even not even huge, an impact that's shaped the way you are and how you are and why you make the decisions that you do. And yeah, sometimes you can be in that state and it doesn't even feel limiting. And I'm not really sure when that state ended for me, but it's been recently that all of a sudden I felt limited by what my brain counts as safety. And I felt ready to be unsafe again. And that's scary, but also exciting. And yeah, I'm wanting to be more aware of what's going on, I guess. Because if I can acknowledge I'm in that place, like again, I can acknowledge that I'm ready to be scared. So I'm gonna be scared. So the scared is okay. So I'm ultimately safe, even though it feels like I'm not. And that's okay, because that's on living life. And that's on being a human being. And that's on getting used to things and not being terrified of things anymore. And having experiences and feeling the full capacity of being a human being. And understanding that whatever happens, well, maybe not whatever, but like most things that are going to happen are going to be okay, because they're within the realm of human experience. And if they're within the realm of human experience, that means a little human being like me can handle it. Good pep talk. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing great. Hope you're doing fantastic. And if you're not, I hope you're doing what you can for yourself to maybe eventually, in however long it takes, feel okay. And yeah, I'm gonna go, well, I want it to be a bit more blue skies. I want it to be a little bit more warm, because then I want to go outside and sit by a river for, I want to be there for a few hours, but it's looking a bit grey and overcast, so maybe I'll figure out something else to do. There's another room that I have to eventually move all the furniture in, but I told myself I'd do it tomorrow. And I feel like that's a good call, because I don't really feel like doing it today. Blue sky, come on. Come on. I know you want to. It'll be great. Anyway, it's not your problem, it's mine. Have a good day. Have a good anything. Have a good tea. Have a good, yeah, just have a good something in your day that you recognize and you can appreciate, and they'll make you a little bit happy. Yeah. Okay.